G'day, so today I wanted to talk a bit about heating with wood. I've been heating with wood for quite a few years now. I've also worked in the firewood business and sawmilling, so I split a lot of wood of my time for other people, and here's my thoughts on it. So in this country there's quite a bit of snobbery when it comes to wood. I'm sure it's the case in other countries too, but a lot of people don't like softwood. I think burning softwood is fine as long as you dry it out, and basically any wood needs to be dry for it to burn properly. Several months to several years sometimes, depending on the species of wood and how damp it is. Now I split by hand. I know a lot of people like hydraulic splitters. I prefer doing it by hand. I think it's pretty fast if you know what you're doing, and you learn to cut round the knots rather than try and go through them. Should you wear gloves? I'm not so sure. Today I wore gloves because it was a bit cold, but I quickly took them off because I find that it's easy to lose control of your axe, and I just don't have as good a feeling in them. So when dealing with knots, you can either cut round them or directly through the middle. Every wood's a little bit different, and you learn how it grows and how to cut through the grain. There's some people say this is the best way to split wood, but it depends on the species and how it's grown. Really, every day's a school day when you're splitting wood. So on to stacking. You want to keep the wood off the ground. You want to have good airflow. So I'm putting it on pallets. You could also use concrete blocks or some timber slats across the top of it, but you don't want the wood lying on the ground. Stacking's fairly straightforward. A bit of trial and error with getting pieces to fit, but it can be quite satisfying to build a stack. The easiest way I found is to lie them 3 deep, with the best stacking pieces on the outside and the middle kind of filled in with some of the worst stacking pieces. I've also put a vented bag on the end. It's any of the really horrible to stack pieces I can chuck in the vented bag, and that forms the end support for the stack once it's complete. Once you've got the wood stacked, it will depend whether you want to cover it or not. If the wood's already fairly dry, it's not like a freshly felled tree, but it's had a bit of time to dry out in the forest, you may want to cover it up with a tarp, but this wood is basically fresh pine. It needs a lot of time to dry, so you're better off not to cover it. Let the air get at it and the sun. When you cover the stack, only cover the top. If you cover the whole thing, it won't breathe and it will just rot. Essentially, when the wood's really wet on the inside, just let it breathe. It will dry out faster that way. And then once you have a spell of a good couple of weeks of sun, maybe chuck a tarp on it after that. So here's a complete stack with the ends supported by vented bags. On this stack I've used hardwood, and I've cut it into square sections when I'm splitting, something you have to be mindful of to build a support. In this case I've used wire mesh to build a sort of like a cube container to support the end. Also creates a good tying on point for your tarp. And in this case I've used softwood smaller diameter halves to stack it. You can see I've got a bit of overhang on the edge of the stack with the tarp, but not enough to stop the airflow. When you get better at splitting wood, you can stop using a chopping block in a lot of woods. I still use a chopping block on the knotty pieces you've just seen, but if you're dealing with a lot of straight stuff, sometimes the ability to split on the ground saves you bending over so much. It can be a lot more dangerous, but if you take the time to learn how to do it, it saves you back in the long term. Essentially I'm twisting the axe as I strike the wood. so it creates a flicking motion that pries the wood apart. I'm also using like a golf style swing to split pieces lying horizontally. It's definitely more of an advanced technique, but if you want to be splitting wood long term, every little bit of back saving helps. There's a lot of pieces of wood that you can't really split by hand, and even log splitters just sort of mash them because there's nowhere for the grain to split. It's so twisted or like malformed, it just doesn't happen. So I just make a pile of the bits I can't split, and then when I've got enough to make it worthwhile, I cut them up with the chainsaw. You want to give the chainsaw plenty of time to warm up, and also check the oil's flowing. In cold temperatures, the oil can sometimes lose viscosity, especially the cheaper oils. I use the steel oil and it doesn't tend to have a problem like some of the other cheap ones. If you wanted to, you could put a basket behind where the chainsaw's cut in to catch some of these noodles if you make your own fire lighters. Particularly some of these softwood knots can be really nasty to split by hand, so you have to sort of cut through them, and it's easier to do that with a chainsaw. Once you're done with the chainsaw in cold temperatures, always remember to loosen off the chain so it doesn't stretch. For smaller wood, I like to use an axe because this stuff is a bit of a pain to cut with a chainsaw because it moves around so much, it's so light, and especially with the higher tooth chains, they just sort of pull it into the saw rather than cut it, and yeah, it's just a bit nasty. I find an axe quite useful for cutting this stuff up, but it makes great kindling if you take the time to process it. I just tend to chuck it in a vented bag or in the middle of a stack if we've got a lot of it. Another option for splitting is to split like 4 foot or 6 foot lengths into rails. This is quite a traditional thing done in Scandinavia and Germany, and it makes it easy to stack it, but it does mean once the wood's dry or dryish, you cut it down further with the chainsaw. But it makes it easier to handle and stack. A good little tip is if the wood's wet, you can tell by the sound. If you learn the sound, it's easy to tell whether wood's dry or not. So this is our stove. It heats hot water as well as heating the home and cooking. So hopefully some of these tips were helpful, and I hope you enjoyed.